So let's talk. So this is my story. I was born in Rochester, New York, to Melvin and Edwina Abney, and as far as I can remember, we grew up on a street by the name of Post Avenue in the Ninth Ward in Rochester, New York. My sister and I have an older sister. She's 5 years older than me. Her name is Ayana. And Rochester, New York, born in St. Mary's Hospital. Yeah. And my mom and dad, mom was born in Lake City, Florida. My dad was born in Sanford, Florida. So, I guess they decided to take me and my sister to New York. I mean, my sister, we were both born there, so, they decided to take themselves to New York and have kids there. My mom worked at Xerox, I believe, and my dad worked at GM. About 1983, we came to Florida, and I can remember all the times in New York. Only thing I really remember is the snow and riding my big wheel up and down the street as fast as I could, 3, 4, 5 years old, riding the heck out of that big wheel up and down the street. So, and Mary Brown. Oh my God, my next door neighbor, Mary Brown. Mary Brown would call my name at all times. And she never said my name right. I mean, goodness gracious, Mary Brown. Oh my God, never said my name right at all. My name is Khalil Kenyatta Abney. Mary Brown, Khalil. So that was my name for a long time. And I could hear her calling my name from the house next door. She lived in the house next door. I'd be in my house, and I could hear Mary Brown calling my name. Mary Brown wasn't no joke, okay? But that's how Rochester was. Everybody on the street knew each other. It was like I could go to the end of the block or that end of the block, and I knew who everybody was. They knew who I was. Tight-knit community in Rochester. Coming to Florida, a lot different in the early 80s, especially for a black family, dropped in the middle of Orlando in the Pine Hills area. If you know that area, you'll know that area was actually started back in the early 80s for people that were moving to the area that were getting jobs at the theme parks. So people that were working at Disney and SeaWorld and the resorts, and this area in Pine Hills was actually created for those people. So needless to say, a lot of those people were Caucasian. So when we moved into Pine Hills, it was more predominantly white than it was black. So, growing up in Pine Hills was a little different in the beginning, but acclimated really fast, made friends really fast. One of my best friends lived right directly across the street from me when we got here, and we, became incredible friends really quickly. And that's kind of who I grew up with when we got here in 1983. My father stayed in New York for a couple years and sold off some of our properties and that he had acquired and owned. And my mother and myself and my sister came to Florida, and we started a new life living with my grandmother, my dad's mother. And then eventually we went and my mom got an apartment and got a job, and my sister and I went to school. And yeah, we started a life here in Florida in 1983. And my dad got here in about 1985. And in 1985, we started a life here in Florida. It's incredible. But being that my history was started in New York, I am a lifelong Bills fan. Go Buffalo! Bills Mafia, stand up. If you're a Bills fan and you're watching this video, Bills Mafia, stand up! Yes, the Black Bruce Wayne is a Bills Mafia. So yeah, now we're here in Florida, and you know, my memories of that early time in Florida. I was a really good student. Went to school, elementary school, you know, first, second, third, fourth grade. I was a talker. Got in trouble all the time for talking. You know, that was me. But decent student, A's and B's. So childhood was good. I was involved in every sport you could possibly think of. Started in t-ball when we got here, or it was a little bit higher than that when we got here, but started in baseball, basketball, football, and football is still my passion, but football was my favorite sport, so I played football, and you know, was a normal kid. I loved BMX bicycles, so I BMX bike raced as well. Skateboarded for fun. Loved shooting guns and BB guns and going hunting with my friends, so we stayed in the woods. You know, just normal kid stuff back in the 80s, outside. Notice everything I said was outside. You know, I think the first gaming system we got was the ColecoVision. Wow, I'm showing my age right now. ColecoVision. Anybody know what ColecoVision? Put it in the comments. Unbelievable. ColecoVision. Yeah. So Atari 5600 came out after that, and you know, our household was very big on music, you know, and the arts. Both my mother and father were, you know, operatic majors in college. You know, they were singers. My father was in a singing group, and my mother has always been a singer in many choirs. And my sister is a singer. My daughter is a singer. And my parents were somewhat of the, you know, performing parents. So they kept us around stage, they kept us around theater, they kept us around the arts, they kept us around music. So my sister and myself were always very, you know, we were playing piano at an early age. My sister was playing the clarinet, you know, I was playing the piano. We both played piano, I should say. We had a piano in our home for 40 years, you know. My parents just sold their piano, and that piano was older than me, and I'm 44. So, you know, singing is a passion in my household. Everyone can sing. And so being around that, I was a child actor. I was in many plays here in Orlando in the Kids Company, which was basically, you know, an acting group for kids that was run by Kate Brighton. And my sister was very, very instrumental in getting me into those types of situations where I'd be acting and dancing and, you know, and being in plays, a lot of plays, you know, Peabody Hotel and UCF Arena, some pretty big venues. And we were, you know, my sister was in Sound of Music and Stack 'em on the Street. And I was mostly so young that I was doing a lot of extra work, you know, being the kids in the background and singing and dancing and playing, you know, not any major roles, but the experience of being out there on stage and the lights on you and having to put makeup on and, you know, having to buy clothes and having to be behind stage and learn, you know, where to go and placement and lighting and, you know, all of those things train you to kind of it sharpens you to be something more than you actually are. It sharpens you to become able to stand and command. It sharpens you, it gives you the ability to be able to command a crowd, to speak in front of people, to inspire and motivate and get people to act. I've never had an issue with talking to people. So I feel like my gift is 100% speaking. I have to talk to people, especially about financial literacy, because not enough people understand how to grow their money and get out of these bad debt situations. But going back, as that child growing up, all of my teachers loved me. All of my friends loved me. All of them looked up to me. I can even remember at a time, about 10 or 11, because I guess that's where I'm at right about now in the story. Some of my friends would call me the genius. They'd refer to me as the genius. One of my best friends, he would always say, man, I listen to you more than I even listen to my own mother, and I was young, and I would take those things and I would be like, wow, I can't believe that someone actually believes in the things I'm saying, that I'm that sensible at this young of an age that I'm making an impact. And I knew at that point, at a young age, that speaking was going to be my gift to give back to the world. And I knew that things that I said were profound. A lot of times people will call me now and just ask me questions and ask me, Khalil, how to get through this situation or that situation, or what do you think? And I'll tell them something and they'll say, wow, I never thought of it that way. And most of the time, my consultation is free. I will talk to you for free, anybody, because most of the time I ask mentors for free help. I ask people. They can tell me no, but I ask, So I know there's going to be people that can learn things from me as well. So I'll talk. At about 13 or 14, when I got to high school, it became playing football, girls, and being cool and being popular and still gift of gab. But I wasn't a good student. I was a horrible student in high school. Anybody that knows me knows I was a horrible student in high school. I'm admitting it now. I barely graduated. Just barely. Was I smart enough to do the work? Of course I was. But did I want to do the work? Heck no. I didn't want to do the work. I hated school. I would get to school and really be trying to figure out ways to leave this place. How can I get the hell up out of this place? I didn't like teachers. I didn't like doing work. I would sit in my class. I didn't bring books to school. And learning how to be a little actor early in age was perfect because I was an actor for my parents. I sure was. In front of them, I was the greatest student in the world. The greatest. But in all actuality, I wasn't doing no work. I was doing just enough work to be able to play football. Because my 4 years in high school, I balled out. I played football for 4 years in high school. I balled out. Evans High School, Maynard Evans High School, Orlando, Florida. Look it up. 1991 state championship. Look it up. So yeah, I balled out, but I just stayed above the line. I mean, I can remember going and asking teachers for grades at the end of a semester and be like, hey, one of my teachers, can you do anything? I'll take a test. Give me a test to raise that grade up, bump it up, please, so I can ball. Please, so I can play. And I had teachers that did it. I should not have played. There are many athletes that go through the same exact story. They should not have played. But I'm telling this truth because I want people to know the exact truth. So when someone listens to the story, they know exactly what, you're not going to get everything perfect in your life. You are not. You're not going to get everything perfect. But what you can do is strive to try to live a righteous path and try to go down the right path by learning more and learning every day. Be meek, making every day about knowledge. Be meek. M-E-A-K. So what I did was about junior year, when I realized I was getting into some really bad situations where I didn't have enough credits. I knew I wasn't going to have enough credits going into senior year to actually graduate at the end of senior year. I knew this a year early. I wasn't stupid. So what I did was I said, you know what? We're going to start looking for some solutions. My mother, being an educator in Central Florida for many, many years, being a teacher. Yes, I am a teacher's kid. She found a program for me at Walt Disney World, the DCT program. This program allowed me to go to school half a day and go to Walt Disney World and work the second half of a day. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me I can go to school and if I do this work, catch up, I can go back to my high school, graduate on time, plus I can work and get money? Sign me up right now. Sign me the hell up right now, please. That's what I told my mama. That's what she did. And that was the story. I swear to God, I signed up for that. I'm going to Disney World, going to class. I'm slaying these classes so easy. And this is at the end of the year. Now, I done played my junior year football season. This is at the end of the year just to catch up. So I slay the work. Teachers love me. Half a day I'm in school. The other half a day, I go to the park in Disney and I'm working in Disney. I'm in the park having a ball. It's my life. I'm an actor. We're called cast members if you work for Disney. We're called cast members. It was the perfect job for me. I mean, it's like my life has been perfectly groomed for this moment. So in this moment, I'm 16, 17 years old. I'm making money. I'm working at Disney. I'm a cast member. This is my life. I'm on stage every day. I'm performing. I'm talking to people. I'm networking. I'm rubbing shoulders with many people, learning. And it's crafting me, my articulation, my diction, my ability to stand in front of people and perform, my ability to command a crowd. I mean, it's crafting all of these things. And I'm 16, 17, 18 years old, not knowing that these things one day would become a manifestation of what you see. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's do this. I'm working. I'm doing my thing. And I catch up. So right when new semester comes around in August, I'm ready to be right back at my high school with money in my pocket, a new experience. People didn't see me for a while, wondering where I had gone. Where's Khalil? All my friends, like, what happened? My closest ones knew, but most of them, the rest of them didn't. So I show up fresh, brand new, grades in check, and I'm ready to go. Senior year. Ready to go. Football season happens. We do well. I'm balling every game senior year, balling. My coach loved the fact that I'm back because I was a starter, a 2-year starter at that point. So coach loved the fact that I was back in time for the season, jumped right back in there, and we had a fantastic season. Around December, January, season's over, and guess what? My drive was gone again. Gone. I did not want to be a student. No matter how hard I tried, I did not want to be a student. I wanted to play football. I did not want to be a student. So, What I did is I told my mother, I said, you know what? I don't want to be a student. And my mom was like, okay. As an educator, she gave me two choices. Because I was skipping school, I was staying home. I didn't want to be a student. Football season's over, no reason to go to school. She said, all right, get a job or get your GED. One or the other. Said, okay. Now, at that point, I still had a hustler's mentality. I still wanted to be something, but I just didn't want to be in school. I know I wanted to do something, so I was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do both. I went and got my GED, and I went and got a job. Sure did. I went and got my GED. As soon as I finished getting my GED, I went and got a job at a telemarketing firm called Marcom at this time in Orlando. Marcom at that time. And I worked that telemarketing job. I loved it. I went and bought myself some slacks, some belts, some business shirts. My dad helped me do it. I had a closet full of slacks and business shirts, ironed and pressed and ready to go. I learned at that moment how to become a businessman. It was the first inkling I had of being a businessman or an entrepreneur. It was like, I was just a regular kid, but at that moment, I learned dress to impress, show up on time, show up and show out. Note takers are money makers. I mean, think outside the box and look for opportunities. You can't grow without opportunity. So I started looking for multi-level marketing businesses. But what happens is when you do that, you find pyramid schemes, Ponzi schemes. Now, at that time, they weren't called Ponzi schemes. They were just money schemes. But you find pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes. And what those are 100% illegal. The people doing MLMs, multi-level marketing, most of the people were struggling because a lot of multi-level marketing, while it is 100% legal, most of the time they wanted you to buy products. And it's all about the acquisition of people underneath you in your downline. It's trying to grow people into that company that most of the time, these people are such low, everyday, just normal people that they're not going to have that hustle and grind it really takes to make these type of multi-level marketing business be successful for everyone. I mean, really, it's only top 10 or 15% in those multi-level marketing businesses that really grow. And those are the people you see in the pamphlets. That's how it was. So many people tried multi-level marketing businesses and failed. Many people. But multi-level marketing is 100% legal. They had They got into it thinking this multi-level marketing business is going to make me rich. I'm going to do this multi-level marketing business and I'm going to be the person in that catalog. Well, guess what, folks? I'm sorry to tell you, the person in that damn catalog, they got probably 7 to 10 different streams of income. That person in the catalog invests. That person in the catalog probably was in real estate at some point in their life. That person in the catalog probably owns some businesses. That person in the catalog, I mean, there's so many different types of streams of income that you can have that a lot of times those multi-level marketing businesses are selling dreams. They're selling dreams. So yeah, as a 21-year-old, 22, 23 now, I guess that's where I'm at in the story, I started to realize what was out there as a businessman. A lot of scams, a lot of scammers. But I'm in the telemarketing business and I'm cold calling people every day. Cold calling. Selling accidental death and dismemberment policies. Can you believe that? Accidental death and dismemberment policies. I don't even know what that is. No, I'm kidding. I know what it is. But yeah, as a 21-year-old, and I was good at it. I would get 40 leads and put 25 people on the phone with a closer because we were the cold callers. The closer closes the deal. I'd be talking to them, and I had that gift of gab. Before they hang up, I said, wait. What you about to hang up for? Wait. You don't even know what I'm about to tell you. Let me tell you something real quick. This is Khalil. Do you know me? No, I don't know you. Exactly. See, so let me talk to you real fast. Boy, I would have them. I would have them because they'd never heard somebody talk to them so casually and so comfortably. I would have them. I always had the gift of gab. So I learned how to do that business really well, and it taught me an important lesson. You can talk to people and make them do anything you want them to do just by talking to them if you understand what it takes to make them tick. So I did that job for a while, made some money, lived a really good life, and then around 22 or 23, I got a different job. I decided to leave the telemarketing industry, and I went to working at Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. Wow, got a job in hardware. Completely different atmosphere. Now I'm working with my hands. I'm learning nuts and bolts and wood and how to cut and how to paint and flooring and drywall and you name it, I'm learning it. Electrical boxes, you name it, I'm learning it. And I'm selling it. And this was a good job. At this time, me and my buddy, shout out to, he used to go by New Jersey Dread, but 973K Lee on Instagram. Shout out to my dog. But me and my dog used to be in the club every night. I'm going to work and basically working to go to the club. I was not saving any money. And then at about 25 years old, I met the most important woman I think I've ever met outside of my mother and my sister, which would be my daughter's mother. And fantastic woman. Shout out to her. And, you know, I love her to death. She had my first child and my only child. And yeah, that was an incredible moment, being there, witnessing my childbirth, my child being born, you know. That was an incredible moment. Are you kidding me? The most incredible thing I think I've ever seen, just because of the anatomy of a woman. I mean, the most incredible thing you will ever see as a parent, as a father. Wow. Sitting in that chair holding my daughter and looking at her and thinking, this is absolutely the most beautiful baby I've ever seen in life, period. I'm not even joking. I seriously entered her baby pictures in the Jimmy Fallon show for like 3 years. It was the Regis and Kelly show when Regis was still on the show. Regis and Kelly, they had a baby giveaway where you could send in pictures of your baby, the cutest baby, and I would send my baby in every month because she was just absolutely that cute. So yeah, becoming a father was incredible. And, you know, we moved into an apartment. You know, I was happy to move into an apartment with my daughter's mother. And we became a little family. It was incredible. And me, her, and my daughter. And at that time, you know, about a couple months in, everything was great. And I lose my job at Lowe's. They were downsizing that department and decided to let me go because I was the newest person in that department. So I was devastated. And yeah, I didn't know how to tell my daughter's mother, you know, how that had happened. It was defeating, it was devastating, and wow, I didn't know what to do. So an opportunity was brought to me from a friend to make money real quick. And I was like, okay, I got this new baby and this is my daughter. What you got? You know, what are we gonna do? And he was like, all right, I want you to hustle. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. And you know, it was one of those things where I started hustling, and being in that world, you know, in that drug world, is tough because you're portraying something that you are not. You know, I was not a hustler. I was not a gangster. I was not a killer. But I wind up riding around and with a pistol in my lap everywhere I went, and tons of money in my pocket. And I grew out really long dreadlocks, and I had tough skin, and and jewelry and hats and apparel, and anybody that knew me, that all my friends that knew me back then, that know me now, all say the same thing. Khalil, that wasn't you. Well, there's that actor nature again. There's that persona that I had to portray again coming through in life. There's that moment of, I was still a hustler. I had a hustler's mind frame at 21 when I got into business, and I still had a hustler's mind frame now that I'm 28, 29, 30, and I need to provide for this family and this little girl, and I just couldn't get jobs. You know, people will say, well, why didn't you get a job? You know, you're an entirely intelligent individual. Why didn't you just get a job? Yeah, well, I was at that moment when I was providing opportunity, fast money came really fast. Fast money came really fast. I didn't have to wait 2 weeks for a paycheck. I didn't have to wait a month for a paycheck. Fast money came fast. Fast money, I was talking to people that same day and making money, flipping my money. And still at that amount of youth in my head, amount of non-maturity, and it was intoxicating. Absolutely intoxicating. It was like the money came so fast I couldn't believe it was making my head spin. So that's what became my life. I started going to the gym every day because I had plenty of time. So I'm going to the gym, I'm getting my body in shape, my daughter's growing up, and I'm at home every day raising my daughter, and her mother, an incredible woman, again, let me say that, an incredible woman, was going to work every day and working as an insurance agent. And boy, was she bringing home the bacon. Bringing home the bacon. I was hustling, paying half the bills, and she was bringing home the bacon, paying everything. You know, even some of the bills that I couldn't pay, she would pay them. But I always managed to pay half that rent. You know what I mean? That big chunk, I always made a way to pay half, at least. And then pay some of my own bills as well, so that I wasn't that much of a burden on her. But as you know, this wasn't a good system because what I'm doing is illegal. So at some point, around 2010, I'm 35 years old, and my daughter's mother finally got tired of my ways and decided, look, you can't live here anymore. And I respect her for saying that, because at that point I was so deep I could not even get out. She wanted me to stay, but she also knew that I couldn't get out. And I told her, I can't get out, so I'm going to get out. I want to stay, but I can't until I can get out. I can't be here until I can get out. And at that point, let's be honest, realistically, we had grown apart, and our connection and our love wasn't strong anymore. That happens to many people. But at that point, I decided to move, and we decided to co-parent. And when we did that, our relationship became better because we became best friends. And, we're now in 2021, and we are the absolute best of friends. I love that girl just as much as I love my mother and my sister and my daughter. That woman is the other woman, out of the four most important women in my life, she's one of them. There's four, and all of them have to exist for me, okay? All four are just as important, okay? That is my family member till I die, my daughter's mother. And if any man is watching this video, let me say and add to a caveat. If there's anything you ever want to do in life, to show your children that you love them, show your children that you love their mother, show your children that you respect their mother, always treat their mother better than any woman you would ever treat them, and put her on a pedestal, okay? So living alone was fun at 35. Got my own condo and started living alone and just became a bachelor and, got into personal training and helping people through physical fitness. Was training my father, training my buddies, going to the gym. Still hustling though, because I can't get out. And if anybody understands hustling, you understand, when someone says that you can't get out, the reason why you can't get out is because most of the time, if you're good at what you do, people are going to put stuff on you. In the game, they're going to give you stuff. Okay? This stuff costs money. If I got a whole bunch of products sitting over there, I can't just decide to get out today. All this product still sitting over there. And I'm not going to get into detail what products I'm talking about because it doesn't really matter. What matters is I, at one point, was doing so well that I was having $40, $50, $60, $70,000 sitting in my bedroom, and I'm losing $1,000 giving it to people, go get me something, giving it to people. I'm losing thousands of dollars at a time, and it doesn't even bother me because I'm making so much money so fast. But you know what? You know what's coming. You know what's coming. Fast money is don't last money. And as good as I was, I never got caught for nothing. Nothing. I never did anything that put me out there to get me in trouble. But what I didn't realize is other people will get in trouble and tell on you. And that's what happened to me. Somebody else got in trouble and they told on me. Somebody bought something from me, and when they got in trouble for it, when the police stopped them for drinking and driving, and it was found on them, and the police asked them where did they get it from, they told on me. So, side note, anybody hustling that's watching this video, if you a hustler in any type of way or fashion, no matter how good you think you are, it's going to come to an end. Guaranteed. Because it does not take you being good at your job to get caught. And that's what I had to find out. Somebody else can get caught and tell on you. So what you need to do is you need to figure out a way out. If you in it deep, you need to figure out a way out. I was in it too deep. And in it too deep has its bad times, boy, because I can remember when people broke in my house to get what I had. I can remember when people, shunned me from going places because of what they thought I did, because of the image that I was presenting. Way bad energy. Not good at all. But I was in it and didn't realize it. And it was exciting. Certain style of women love that type of lifestyle. So it wasn't hard to attract women. But it came to an end when the police showed up at my front door with a warrant for my arrest for trafficking in oxycodone because I sold 10 pills. Now, all of the stuff that I had done and all of the things I had done in hustling, I didn't get in any trouble for that because guess what? I had sciatic nerve pain. And those 10 pills were prescribed to me. Those 10 pills were my medication. I was helping a friend. She called me and asked me if she could buy some medication because I didn't want to take them because oxycodone made me feel weird. I sold her 10 of my pills. I think for like $1 a piece or something like that. It wasn't about making the money. It was just about helping a friend. She got caught with them. And they showed up at my front door. How do I know this story? Because I read my discovery. My lawyer gave me the discovery. I did 12 months in the county jail fighting this case because I'd never been in trouble in my life. And that was basically entrapment and my story, my side against her story. But she actually did a controlled buy. She actually was caught by the police. They sent her to my house to do a controlled buy. They had the proof that she did it. Unbelievable. So I did 12 months of my life in the county jail because of that. I messed up. I made a mistake. I deserved to do it. My lawyer was able to secure a 36-month sentence because I had never been in trouble in my life. And yeah, I actually wound up doing 12 months in a correctional facility. And then, because I was such a great inmate, you know, I stayed in my bunk and read my Bible every day and didn't get in any trouble. Because I was such a great inmate, I was able to accrue about 6 months of game time. So in that amount of time, I was able to come home after 12 months and be in a work release program here in Orlando. So yeah, the 3-year period right after, you know, hustling up until about 38, 39, 40, a 3-year period of my life was taken away from me. And I was incarcerated. So I got home in December of 2015 into the work release program. And in the work release program, at this point, I'm now 39 years old. I'm pretty sharp. I'm pretty astute. I'm intelligent. I know what I needed to do. And the whole time that I was behind those walls and those gates, I was plotting my comeback, my redemption, my, you know, ability to come out and be a completely different version of myself. While I was behind bars, I had a whole changing and transformation. I cut my hair off, cut my beard off. You know, I started reading every day, reading books on business, reading books on finance, reading books on entrepreneurial spirit, reading books on monetizing your thoughts, reading books on speaking, reading books on, I read books on so many things, and I took notes. I didn't, and more than just taking notes, I actually journaled everything that happened while I was behind bars. Every day that I was in the county jail for 12 months, I journaled what happened every day, like a story. I made that experience as if it was an out-of-body experience for me. As if I was, you know, if I was a reporter and I'm reporting what's happening here so that I can tell people later what actually happened. That's what my experience was. I saw so much corruption. I saw so much, you know, hate, vitriol, guys beating each other up in the shower. I mean, everything you can imagine: thieving, robbing, stealing. Guys that are supposed to be living in a pod together and having some sort of cohesion because we know we got to be here together for a long period of time. Ain't no cohesion at all. It's incredible. It's a jungle, and the entire time, I felt like an eagle in a chicken's coop. I was an eagle in a chicken's coop. I knew I was an eagle, but I was in a chicken's coop. Some kind of way, I'm going to come out of this damn chicken coop and I'm going to soar. I'm going to soar bigger than anybody that's ever soared before. I'm after it in every way, and I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to soar. So what I started to do was I started to write a book. I started to ask everybody about their experiences, about their life. And I started actually writing down things about certain individuals so I could create characters for a book. So I'm journaling. I'm writing down notes out of books. I'm learning. And I'm also creating a book with characters. I'm creating characters. I'm taking notes from books, and I'm journaling every day. I mean, I actually wrote in my journal that the most productive time of my life, was when I had no access to TV. I had no access to internet. I had no access to people. I had no access to freedom. I wrote a quote about from Nelson Mandela about that exact same thing. And it dawned on me how learning is the key. Filling your mind with things is the key. Learning is the key. Every day. Learn something every day. Be meek. Making every day about knowledge. Every day. Learn something. It doesn't take much to read. Doesn't take that much at all. So, reading everything I was reading, and I would write down every book that I read. I read somewhere that Bill Gates read 50 books a year until he became a billionaire. Well, he probably still reads that many books. I doubt that Bill stopped reading books if he read that many books a year. You know what I mean? Come on, let's be real. This is Bill Gates we're talking about. So when I got to work release, I was prepared. I would look at my notes every day, and I was prepared. And I knew I was going to figure out a way to show up and show out somewhere. And then that was December of 2015. And by January of 16, I am eavesdropping. I'm sorry, no, about January 12th of 2016. I'm eavesdropping, listening to the job specialists at the Bridge Work Release Center in Orlando. And I'm over listening to, listen right over her shoulder, talk to these two kids about a position at a company where the commission-based sales were incredible and people were doing amazing numbers. And it happened to be Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. And I'm like, okay, this sounds incredible. Sounds like something I could do. But I'm looking at these two kids and thinking, I know these two kids. I've seen them here for the last couple of weeks and they're not motivated to do anything. And I'm thinking to myself, commission-based sales? That's right up my alley. All these things I've explained, this whole story, commission-based sales is going to be up my alley. I did the telemarketing. I did the Disney. I did the home, the Lowe's. All this stuff has prepared me to go right into commission-based sales and talk to people. I did so multi-level marketing stuff. I forgot about adding that in there. So yeah, easy. She walks away from those guys. I follow her and walk into her and follow her office, and I say to her, hey, her name was Miss Casey at the time. If Miss Casey, if you ever watched this video, shout out to Miss Casey. Miss Casey gave me that opportunity, and without that opportunity, I wouldn't be where I am today. Miss Casey says, Abney, you would be perfect for that job. You would be perfect for that job. I want you to call a young lady by the name of Andrea and talk to her, and talk to her. You'll be perfect for that job. I took the number, went back to my room, sat on my bunk, and I called her immediately, and I said, hello. And she said, hello, how are you? This is Lazy Boy. How can I help you? And I said, my name is Khalil Abney, and I want an interview right now because I'm going to be your next salesperson of the year. I swear to you that is exactly what I said to her. She laughed really hard. Ha 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 ha, laughed really hard. And she goes, wow, I love your energy and excitement. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can get you talk to my manager. I said, okay, no problem. She said, the manager's not here, but he'll be here tomorrow and you can talk to him. I said, okay. I called back tomorrow. He was there. I speak to him, told him the exact same thing. His name was John. I said, John, I'm going to be your next salesperson of the year. He said, really? He said, well, we got to get you in for an interview. I haven't had anyone ever call me and say that in that excited tone. I said, I know. Everybody else going to call you and tell you they got a resume. They're qualified. They can do it, blah, blah, blah. I said, John, I don't have a resume. I just got out of prison. I'm in a work release center. And he said, you know what? That's no problem. We hire guys from that work release center all the time. And I said, you know what? I know that because I just heard Miss Casey talk about you guys. And he said, okay, so don't worry about a resume. Just come in for an interview. I said, perfect. So I called my parents and I didn't have to beg them, but I told them about the opportunity and they were excited for me. And they were like, my dad showed up with a bag of clothes, some slacks and a shirt. And I'm on my way. I can remember taking that first picture of myself in a shirt and tie with a clean shaven face, 195 pounds and skinny, because I wasn't eating that great inside. And yeah, I'm about to show up and show out. I asked these work release people for a ride to this job interview, and I said, please, and they said, of course, we'll take you, no problem. Because if you get the job at Lazy Boy, you're in the upper echelon of the people at this work release center. The people at this work release center, all the people that have ever worked for Lazy Boy have all gone on to do good things. I said, really? They said, yeah. A couple of the guys that worked here have left here with $20,000, $30,000, $15,000. I said, wow, in 6 to 8 months, a year, I can build up that. Now, I only had 6 months to go, but I can build up that amount of money before I get out. Wow, this opportunity is going to be incredible. So I'm on this bus in this work release van on this way to this interview. And I can remember putting my head in my lap and I said, God, I was at the bottom, God. I was at the bottom. I was at the bottom. I was locked up and I was in prison. And all I had was you and my Bible. And I read the Bible all the way through. Was I following your word before that? No. What did I find you inside? Yes. Is this my time to be redeemed? Yes. Are you talking to me through this Bible? Yes. And that was when I realized at that moment, everything I had gone through inside, everything I had studied, all the prison time, all the ability to learn and fill my head with knowledge was for this moment. And so I put my head in my lap. I said, God, if you allow me to get this job, I will do everything right. I will live a righteous path. I will be the best salesperson I can be. I will forgive myself for my sins. I will pray to you and ask you for things every time I need them. I won't worry about nothing, but I will pray about everything. And I get to that interview. And I absolutely killed the interview. I killed the interview. I'm talking to John and I'm telling John what my background is, how I grew up, how I'm going to come into the store and be a positive light, and how I'm going to recruit. I'm going to make business where business doesn't exist. I'm going to make sure that I have clients coming in when that door is not turning. I'm not going to be sitting in the back waiting for an opportunity and while everybody else is on their phones and their laptops. And I'm not selling nothing. No, I'm going to always be closing. A, B, C. I'm going to always be closing. I'm going to always be selling. I'm going to always be closing. And John was blown away by me. Blown away by me. When I told him I came from an acting family with a mother that was a singer and a father that was a singer, a sister that's a singer, a daughter that's a singer, and I sing, I play the piano. When I told him that, and I told him I came from a theater-based family, he was like, wow, can you believe that? And I told him I was actually in A Midsummer Night's Dream, okay, a Shakespearean play. And he says, oh, wow, I played, and I told him I played Nick Bottom. He was like, wow, I played Puck. And I was like, wow, this was meant to be. I had him in the palm of my hand, and he gave me a job immediately. And, well, he didn't give me a job immediately. I take that back. Let me refrain. I actually had to have a job with the general manager. But the next day, I had a job with the general manager. I slayed that interview as well. And John, really told, when he came out of the interview, after I came out, he was in the store, and he says to the general manager, I want him on my team in my store. So John really fought for me to get the job in the placement in the store, because there's 4 stores. The store I wanted to be working in, John fought for me to be placed in that store. So shout out to John if you ever watch this video. Big shout out to John. Another influential person in helping me in that stepping stone and getting the job at Lazy Boy. But it became an incredible company to work for. And I have been there for the last 5 years. And, my boss right now, Josh, is amazing. My general manager, Kim, is amazing. My owner is incredible to work for, okay? Incredible to work for. So, no matter how much I do and how successful I be, I'm going to always remember this opportunity, and this opportunity is what made me into who I am today. But I tell you, over this experience, I learned so much about sales, so much about closing, so much about the relationship rapport that you build with people, so much about ingratiating yourself with an entire family and learning what's important to that family. Learning interior design, learning, shapes and colors, how they go together, and patterns, and comfort, learning what comfort is to different people, learning chairs, learning sofas, learning love seats, learning rugs, all the different things that it takes to learn interior design. I've learned them, and it's interesting that I went from being a hustler and a gangster to being in the world of fashion and home improvement and interior design and queer eye for a straight guy type shit. Bottom line, I'm 100% a heterosexual male, but that's what I do every day. I'm in an industry that is dominated by women and homosexual men. Dominated. I don't got no problem. Zero problems. You know why? Because I understood that my ability to have people like me and ingratiate myself with people, my ability to communicate, my ability to educate, was going to be my passion and my power. I'm able to look and think outside the box and get people to understand the difference between the type of furniture that's out there. And then once they understand the differences, a lot of times they can make an educated decision. So they come and purchase me because I became their educator and they like me. More so than just walking around and picking some random crap to go in their home. Very random. No, that's not the way you should do it. You should have someone that has some design sense, some design training. Am I a professional designer? Did I go to college for it? No, I did not. Let's make that clear. But we have professional designers on staff that I worked with in concert for the last 5 years. So is my expertise on a higher level than the person that walks in that door? Yeah. Can I help you more than you can help yourself? Yeah. So for me, learning sales, learning how to close, learning what a person's hot button is, learning what their desire is, when you can get into all of that, you can create a really amazing relationship. And if you can create a really amazing relationship, you can create an amazing room. You can create an amazing room. That's the best thing in the world, to reveal a room to people and watch them go, oh my God, it is incredible. Those shows, those home improvement shows, when you see those reveals, I do that on a daily basis. That's what I do on a daily basis. I mean, well, not daily, but a lot of them. Some days we just sit in the store and I take customers, and I sell recliners on those days. But there's a lot of house call presentations. We have a lot of fun. The family gets to see an HGTV presentation up on the screen. It's a free process. If you come see me, it doesn't cost you any money. Costs you nothing to allow me to do a virtual room of your home. I will come to your house. I will measure the space. I will actually propose furniture for you. Myself and a team of designers, by the way. Rugs, lamps, tables, chairs, sofas, love seats, reclining, non-reclining, modern, contemporary, mid-century modern, rustic, whatever you'd like. This is Florida. A lot of people like coastal. No problem. We got you. And then what we'll do is we'll create a beautiful room based on what you want. Based on everything you want. We'll create a beautiful room based on everything that you want and need. And guess what? If you see anything in this house call presentation, in this rendering of your room, because we're going to take pictures and we're going to fuse furniture into your room 3D and virtually. If you see anything in that picture you don't like, you do not have to purchase it. You are under no obligation to purchase. This is incredible. You can get your home designed for free if you come see me. Whole home designed for free if you come see me. Whole home designed for free. Now, obviously, we want you to purchase. Obviously, we don't want you to take our designs and go somewhere else. So we're going to do you right when it comes to pricing. We're not going to overcharge. We're going to do exactly what the market says do. We're going to actually do the research before we price it. What's the market going for a certain price? Kind of sounds like stock, but we'll get to stock in another video. And then we're going to give you a decent price, and it's a fair price. And that's where we are today. So that is my entire story from birth till today. Are there things I left out? Of course there's things I left out. Are there reasons why I left out? Of course there are reasons why I left out. The importance of this video is to let guys just like me, women just like myself at my age, men, parents with young sons, there can be mistakes. There's going to be mistakes, but you can rise above it. I now own my own home. I now was the 2019 Salesperson of the Year in Lazy Boy. 2019 Salesperson of the Year. Under one of my previous managers, Carlos Gonzalez, I was the sales trainer in that store for 2 years. Every Sunday, I would get up and present premium content to train other salespeople how to be better at sales. Premium content. I would do my research for a week and then present premium content based on research. A lot of staying up, a lot of hours, and a lot of reading, 2 years of sales training. I moved myself from salesperson to key holder to senior sales associate to sales trainer to one of the people right under the store manager on the management team to a very, very well living on a yearly basis. I own my own home. I own my car. I have investments in place. I have a Roth IRA. I own coin. I have independent businesses in place that make me money. I got a ching just a minute ago on my phone that one of my businesses created some income for me, and one of my products was sold. Incredible. Incredible. The amount of elevation in this amount of time is beyond me. I mean, people that know me and around me, they're like, Khalil, we cannot believe your transformation. We cannot believe your transformation. I have a female friend who I call a dear friend, who I call my twin. She is a Caucasian woman. She calls me her twin, because we have the same type of mind frame. But she tells me all the time in text, twin, I cannot believe your metaphoric rise. I cannot believe your redemption. I cannot believe how you came back and came back strong. The way you came out in a way that you knew you were never going to go back to that life. You knew you were never going to go back to making any, living in a prison or do anything to hustle. When I got home and was in that work release program and my daughter came to visit me for the first time, my daughter said to me, she said, Dad, at about 12 or 13 years old, she said to me, I won't be able to, be your daughter if you go back to that type of lifestyle. I just won't be able to do that because, I was embarrassed when that happened to me and my teachers found out and people saw you and things of that nature and Googling my name and saw my mugshot and, worst feeling I ever had in my life. And I knew at that moment, I'm going to do everything in the world to make that girl proud. Everything in the world to make that girl proud for the rest of my life. I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it well. I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it well. So everything I do for you, Ariana Abney. If you're watching this video, everything I do for you. I love that girl more than anything I've ever loved in my entire life. That is my blood. That is me incarnate. That is the representation of my heart walking this earth. That's my baby girl. I will always thank her mother, Christina Burgess, for her. She made me a better man. She made me know that the path I was on was the right path, because I knew I was on that path coming out. I knew I was, but she made me know it for sure. So, now that I'm successful in my job and now that I've made it to this top at this point at Lazy Boy, I started actually taking it to the next level. Start to think outside the box. Let's take it up another notch, Khalil. I started creating policy for Lazy Boy. Creating policy. I created something called the value questionnaire. I created something called the recliner questionnaire. I created something called the time frame addendum. I'm now creating policy for Lazy Boy. These are now policies that are in place that were not in place before myself. So I'm doing a little bit more than just the norm. And I would encourage you to do that. You show up at your job and do more than just the norm. You get up tomorrow and do more than just the norm. You go to Borders on your day off, buy a book on something you want to learn, read that book, and become a better version of yourself. Rebrand who you are. That's what I did. So one day, I'm going to tell you a quick story, and then this is going to be the end, because I think we've gotten to most of the important things in this video. But in about 2018, I had a salesperson come up to me and tell me one time that he thought I was his hero. You know, he was like, man, you are a tall black man. You're charismatic. You dress well. You always smell good. And he was a white male, homosexual white male. Very friendly, loving. I loved the kid to death, okay? And he was just, he loved me to death. And I used to see the way he would use his feminine quality to actually sell people. So I realized at one point that I can use that acting in certain instances and use that quality and make sales. So I would do that. I would throw on that gay act in a minute to make sales. Oh, girl, let's do this right now, girl. Trust me, we finna sell something today. I would throw it on in a heartbeat, because you know what? I didn't care. I'm trying to make sales at all cost. So I love this kid, and we would talk a lot. And one day he got stuck on the highway, and he could not get his hood closed on his Mercedes. Okay, expensive car, nice car, couldn't get his hood closed. So my manager says, Khalil, go save Jeremy. Now, in that day, I was dressed in all black, just like I am today. I'm always dressed in all black because I am the Black Bruce Wayne. Jeremy says to me when I get there to save the day, I get there and he says, man, you came to save me. You're my black Batman. I drive a black Pontiac G8. At the time, it was just a normal black Pontiac G8. It was black, Pontiac, fast. I loved that car. I knew when I was inside, I wanted to get that car because that car had a specific engine, and that car holds a lot of value because it was only made for 2 years. Cars are bad investments anyway. So what I did is I looked at the best investment. I bought an older model car that has a lot of value. Take notes. New car loses a lot of value immediately when you drive it off the lot. You're going to put a tons of miles on it and it ain't going to have no value. I bought a old car with super, super, super low miles that has high value. 2008 automobile with 20,000 miles. It is 2021 right now, and my car only has 40,000 miles, and I still drive that car. But that car turned into the Batmobile. Yes, it did. That car turned into the Batmobile because Jeremy called me the Black Batman. In that day, I can remember setting up a Bitmoji account, and I started sending everybody. I found at that time Bitmoji had superhero costumes for Bitmojis. So I found a Batman costume for my Batman Bitmoji, and I made a black man with a bat costume, and I made the Black Batman. So I started telling all my customers, I went to Amazon, I bought black folders, I bought Batman stickers, I put Batman stickers right in the middle of those folders, and I started giving them to every one of my customers instead of giving Lazy Boy folders. I no longer give Lazy Boy folders, folks. I branded myself into the Black Batman based on someone else calling me his hero. Now this is not acting. This is branding. I am now attaching myself to a symbol bigger than me. That bat symbol is bigger than me. Everybody loves Batman. And these bat folders, when I give them to families and they give them to the kids and the kids love it, they want everybody to come buy furniture from me. They want everybody to come buy furniture from me. This is the freest game you'll ever get if you're in any type of sales. Buy something that will attach you to something bigger than you. Buy thank you cards with stickers and give them out at Christmas or Thanksgiving and write something sweet. Buy folders and put stickers on them so that's something that you love that represents you. Think outside the box when it comes to sales, folks. If you're running a multi-level marketing business, don't let multi-level marketing be your only hustle. You're not going to get rich off multi-level marketing. But multi-level marketing is good to have as one of your streams of income. As one of your streams of income. Mix multi-level marketing with 5 or 6 other streams and then work on that multi-level marketing over a long period of time. If in 5 to 6 to 7, 8 years you're still doing it and now it's netting you $50 a month, that's $50 a month more than you would have had. That is the key to success. So now I bring to you my home, myself, Khalil Abney, the Black Bruce Wayne. If you know anything about monograms, the last name always goes in the middle. If you're watching this right now, guys, step your game up when it comes to your wardrobe. Find yourself a seamstress. Find someone that can monogram your clothes. Look sharp. Show up well dressed. Look at old pictures of GQ magazine and Details magazine about the sharp Renaissance man. Become a better version of yourself. Speak well. Articulate. Use diction. Budget, save, invest, and become an entrepreneur while you work your job so that one day you can leave your job. Be the first person in your family to be a complete entrepreneur. You can do it. You can 100% do it. Meek, make every day about knowledge. Make every day about knowledge. Jeremy passed away, so rest in peace, Jeremy. And like I said, the fact that I told you that story about becoming the Black Batman, I'm going to leave this and end this here. So I appreciate everybody that watched. I appreciate you listening. If anybody heard anything that's going to help them, you can always talk to me, DM me. I'm at Bat G8 underscore the Black Bruce Wayne on Instagram. Bat G8, BATG8 underscore the Black Bruce Wayne on Instagram. And also, if you'd like to purchase a shirt or some merchandise, and represent the brand Meek, making every day about knowledge. The brand is Meek Casuals, www.meekcasuals.com. You can go and buy some merch, purchase a shirt, wear the shirt, and talk about the message. Do not talk about Khalil. Don't talk about the Black Bruce Wayne. Don't talk about none of the stuff you've learned today. Talk about the message, because the message is important. That's how we're going to save our youth. Making every day about knowledge. Reading. Reading is so important. Reading is knowledge. Knowledge is power. And power is meek under control. Power is meekness under control. I want to thank everybody for listening today. Like the page and subscribe. I'm going to bring you guys some really cool, incredible content. Some Bat G8 content, some Khalil content, some finance videos, free game videos. I'm going to bring you everything, guys. I appreciate everything. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye. Have a blessed day.